What I really liked about Trump's reaction is the indictment came out and the press asked the president, what do you think about John Bolton being indicted? And Trump literally did the line. He goes, I didn't hear about that. You're telling me for the first time. The absolute madman. We have to give the credit where it's due. That was kind of a wink and a nod. Like, that was awesome. Trump is rounding up and arresting all of his enemies, and they say, what do you think about your latest enemy who's being thrown in prison, house raided? And Trump does the meme. He goes, I didn't know that. You're telling me for the first time. It's like masterful. We have to admit, I said this the other night, we have to admit Trump is still kind of awesome. And look, the Trump administration is totally controlled by Israel. That's why they're not releasing the Epstein files. That's why they're going to war with Iran. It's why Trump is like glad that Miriam Adelson is more loyal to Israel than America. Wants Netanyahu to be pardoned. Like, I know all the relevant facts, but Trump is still really funny. And I hate to say that. I don't want to say that, but it's true. Trump is still really funny. And even if he's not red-pilled, he's definitely still based. And these types of moments, these kinds of moments, they're becoming more infrequent, but he still has them. Seems like he's declining cognitively. He's shriveling up. Like, he's not looking so hot, you know? Like, he's slowing down. But, excuse me, every once in a while, he reminds you that's why he's the GOAT. Every now and again, like I said, few and far between and much more rare nowadays, but every now and again he reminds you that's why he's the GOAT.
I completely agree with Nick on this one. And exactly, Trump is like, I'm not trying here to defend him, like, let me say this firstly, but I voted for Trump and I really like this guy, but like day after day I'm starting to get like a little bit annoyed by Donald Trump, what he's doing. He's not doing enough. Like, he says America first, but I feel like he's not doing enough for America. But anyways, that aside, Donald Trump is still very based. He's actually kind of funny as well. Like, his Instagram, his X, his Truth Social posts, like every day. This guy is like very old and he's like making jokes where me and my friends really laugh about. Like, it's very, very funny. So I completely agree with Nick on this one. Like, I like the fact that Trump is like doing all these things, making fun of all of his enemies. And like, he is like still very active on social media. Just every day he's like posting funny things like about his enemies. But again, he should do more about like America. That's what I disagree with Nick. Like, he should do, or Nick thinks the same. But I'm just curious how you think about it. Like, do you still like Trump the way he is, or do you think he should do more instead of only making jokes? But Donald Trump is a based guy still, even though I kind of like starting to hate him a little bit. He will always have a place in my heart. He is a based guy, that's for sure.
So they call him up. They say, are you aware about John Bolton being arrested? He goes, I didn't know that. You're telling me for the first time. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Anyway, the article goes on. It says, while Bolton is part of a string of perceived enemies of the president to become prosecutorial targets, the federal investigation into him gained momentum during the Biden administration when U.S. intelligence agencies gathered what former officials have described as troubling evidence. The prosecution followed normal department channels without firings or forced transfers. Kelly O. Hayes, the U.S. attorney in Maryland, was among the prosecutors to sign off on the charges with the DOJ's National Security Division. By contrast, Mr. Trump in recent weeks has removed or sidelined prosecutors in order to secure indictments against two of his longtime targets, James Comey, the former FBI director, and Letitia James, New York's attorney general. If convicted, Mr. Bolton could spend the rest of his life in prison. Each count carries a maximum potential sentence of 10 years, and there's 18 of them. He's expected to surrender to authorities on Friday and make his initial court appearance in Maryland later that day. So, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know whether he'll be convicted or not. I don't have that expertise. And what the New York Times is reporting is that this appears to have been a fair shake here. That the investigation originated under the Biden administration. There were problems with Bolton. It's a lot like Hillary Clinton's emails. It's like Joe Biden. these federal officials, they're not doing their due diligence. And the facts of the case are that John Bolton is writing a diary on Signal. He's writing a diary on a personal email on Signal, taking notes about classified information and sending it to people and saying, I'm going to use this in my book. You can't do that. If you're the National Security Council is like a windowless building. You go into windowless rooms and you write policy all day. Like that's what it is. Because the National Security Council, which is where he worked, this is where they synthesize all the intel that's coming from the DNI, the DOD, the Secretary of State. They are the ones that are tasked with delivering the options for the president to act in the world with the military. So this is as sensitive as it gets. And John Bolton is taking notes as the national security advisor, the head of the NSC, on like group chats, sending text over encrypted messaging apps over email to family and friends and saying, so today we talked about this. Tomorrow we're going to do this, with the intention of then sending that to these people so that they will apparently compile it and then they can use it in his book that he published for everybody to see.
And exactly for this reason, I think John Bolton, he will literally, like, he is going to jail. I can't believe that this man is not going to jail. Just look what Nick just said here about, and I knew, of course, everything about John Bolton. Like, this guy was the biggest national threat to our country almost. Like look what he almost gave away all our security, like, policies and everything. He was writing it down in, like, group chats. Come on. Those people, they are so dangerous for our country. And I mean, like, I feel like it's kind of cute, or cute is not the right word, but I hope you get what I mean, because it's like an older guy. He probably doesn't even know, like, what he is doing. But this is so dangerous for our country. Like, imagine, like, I think, like, even Iran or, like, countries like China, if they, like, found out about these plans, if they, like, hacked his, like, phone or something, like, can you imagine what kind of shit that would have caused for our country? So it's, like, I feel like because it's this old man, it's, like, kind of, like, cute. I mean, like, cute is not the right word, but I almost think, like, he didn't do it on purpose, but this guy is, like, so dumb, but it's, like, such a danger for our country. But I don't know what's gonna happen with him, but, like, he should go to jail if you ask me. Come on, you can't be in this position and be this dumb. Like, you can't be that. Then, like, you should, like, go work at the 7-Eleven or something, but you can't have, like, this kind of job. Like, for real, man.
And Bolton's attorney comes out and says, well, we didn't use any of the classified information in the book. Okay, well, you can't be doing that. And what is it with these people, whether it's Hillary Clinton, Bolton, even Trump on some level? What is it with the mishandling of the documents? It seems like this is a systemic issue. So I don't know what's happening here, but the investigation originated under the Biden administration. That's when they took an interest. The charges came down under Trump, and it's not like Trump coerced this. According to the Times, it followed the normal channels. Trump didn't need to lean on anybody, in other words, to secure the indictments. So it seems somewhat organic. Maybe Bolton is just guilty. Either way, you could surmise that probably Trump had some kind of a hand in this, maybe pushing this along, accelerating it. Maybe he's the nucleus of it. Either way, this is part of a long saga of revenge, because it's not the first one. If this was a one and done, you might say, John Bolton's a guilty man. He's not above the law. But this is the third one. You've got James Comey, Letitia James, now Bolton. You've got these major lawsuits against the media companies. This is a revenge campaign. And understand, the punishment is the process itself. I don't know that John Bolton will get convicted. I don't know that he'll get jail time necessarily. Who knows how that will actually be argued in court. The punishment is that he's being set up for this. And it sucks. He's going to have to hire attorneys, which are very expensive. He already had to hire security because Trump revoked his Secret Service protection. So you think about the process. He's got to pay for all this security. He's got to pay now for lawyers. The feds are in his home, raiding his office, raiding his bedroom for documents, turning his residence upside down. This is very distressing. And he's an old man. He's in his 70s, and he's got feds turning his house upside down, looting the place. He's got to hire attorneys. This is a process that could last years. It's very perilous, very stressful. There'll be depositions. There'll be subpoenas. This is going to be very nerve-wracking. He's in the sunset of his life. He wants to be retired. Now he's going to be defending himself in court.
That's all true what Nick just said, but I kind of like, he shouldn't be this dumb or this stupid, or like he shouldn't even like send this information for his stupid book. So it's like kind of like play stupid games, win stupid prizes, if you ask me. So it is his own fault. So I feel like, for me, it's like kind of funny. I mean, like funny is not the right word, because I feel like this guy was just like not smart enough to like know what kind of danger or what he was doing. I feel like, long story short, I feel like this guy didn't even know what he was doing. He had no clue. That's like the picture, or that's like the feeling he gives me when I see him as well, when he talks. Like, this guy is not the smartest, I believe. And anyway, he got this very important job, so that's also a big question I have. But like, this guy, what he did is so bad for our country. It is like, you can say whatever you want, but it is such a like danger to our country. So I think he should be punished. Like, you cannot have this job, this kind of work, this position, and then just fuck around. You cannot do that. That's like, it's so stupid, and people, like, they should be punished for this. But I'm curious how you think about it. Like, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Share your opinion in the comments. But John Bolton, I don't know. It's kind of sad, but like, this is also like a reality.
Worried about his financial solvency. He's going to have to raise money. The MAGA-peds are going to hate him. Like, he's probably getting harassed maybe in public. If he's going out, he's got to worry about that. So they are making his life a living hell. And that's the point. It's a punishment, because the DOJ has infinite resources. They have the power of the bully pulpit, and they can just do it. And in the end, maybe Bolton is innocent. Maybe he gets proven not guilty, but he never gets that time and money back. The legal fees, the time, the heartache, the pressure on him and his family, you can't take that back. So even if he gets found innocent by a jury, the DOJ is going to shrug their shoulders and say, well, we tried it. That's the best case scenario. So this is brutal. And this is revenge, because this is what they did to Trump. And there used to be an understanding that you don't do this sort of thing. You don't go after your political opponents. You don't necessarily go after these people for clerical issues. But it started with Clinton and her emails. And then it was Trump and Russiagate and the Ukraine phone call. Then it was his classified documents. Then it was Biden. Now it's this. And this is the cycle that we are now in. And I'm going to say, by the way, we don't necessarily know if this was politically motivated. It looks like it, but it's possible that it isn't. It looks like it because it's part of a pattern, but it might be a coincidence. Like, that is possible. Either way, it has the appearance that it's political, and that's all that really matters. So there's a chance that Bolton's a guilty man, and they're looking at him just like the special counsel or the inspector general looked at Biden for a similar case when he was president. It's possible. But it has the appearance that it's political. And it's part of a pattern of political reprisal and retribution. And here's what that means. It means that whether it's political or not, every liberal interprets it as such. And for them, that's as real as if it was political. And when they're doing their No King's Day protest, when another Thomas Crooks is carving a message on a bullet, when they rally and regroup for 26 or 28, like, they think it's real. And what that represents to them is that Trump is like eroding democracy, and he's targeting his opponents because he doesn't want another election, because he wants to carry out his fascist agenda. That's how they take it. And how they take it is that there can be no peace or coexistence with the right, that we are now in an arms race, that on the right and the left, we've both resolved that if one gets power, it's unacceptable, and we have to do everything to undermine them. We have to redraw the districts. We have to redo the census, like recount the population. Midway through the decade, we have to go through the Supreme Court, get rid of the nuclear option in the Senate, or do the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster in the Senate. We have to arrest everybody, spy on everybody, do it. Like, that's where we are now. And everybody recognizes that. They're already making that argument for J.D. Vance. They're saying that it's unacceptable for a Democrat to get into power ever again. So we're stuck. This is our team. This is our side. This is our guy. And now it's not even a question of, can you bear 8 years of Obama? Can the country bear 8 years of Obama? It's like, no, it's unacceptable to have Obama again because he will kill you. Because if he gets in power, he will prevent the right from ever achieving power again. And in doing so, they will guarantee that they will destroy everything you love and trans your kids and do these things. That's where we're headed. That's sort of where we are.
And that's actually so sad. I don't agree with everything Nick just said here, but I agree with a big part he said. And it's actually so sad that we came to this point that this is kind of reality. And it's insane. I'm very curious how you think about this. Do you agree with what Nick just said here? Do you disagree with what Nick just said here? I'm very curious. It's very important to say I read all comments, so share your opinion in the comments. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you really like this video, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And last but not least, guys, I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!